Welcome back, students. In this session, we'll be continuing with chapter 6 on the rise of kingdoms in the south. So, last class we have completed the Vijayanagar Empire. Now, today we'll be starting with the Bahmani kingdom. So, the Bahmani kingdom was another. After the Vijayanagar Empire, we can see the emergence of the Bahmani kingdom, or we can see the emergence of Bahmani kingdom side by side. So it was the most powerful of all the independent Muslim kingdoms in India in the medieval age. So we are studying the medieval history. So Bahmani kingdom is one of the very important kingdoms of the medieval history. So it was a Muslim. It was one of the important Muslim kingdoms, and it came to existence during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So that Delhi Sultanate Tughlaq dynasty was there. So at that point of time in the south, this Bahmani kingdom was established. Only Devagiri was under his control when this kingdom was founded. A group of foreign nobles and Amiran-e-Sada means the nobles who had an army of their own. So this the foreign nobles along with this Amiran-e-Sada, that is the army, rose in revolt against the Delhi Sultanate and elected one of their leaders, Hasan Gangu, as their king. So they drove away the governor of Daulatabad, and the dynasty thus established came to be known as the Bahmani kingdom, which was established in 1347. 1347. So founder was Hasan Gangu, or who took the title of Bahman Shah, and is referred to as the founder of this Bahmani kingdom. So this lasted for around 180 years, and the most important rulers of the dynasty were Bahman Shah I, Muhammad Shah I, Muhammad Shah II, Firoz Shah, Ahmed Shah, and Muhammad Shah III. So you can see the names are quite similar to the ones in the Delhi Sultanate, also to the few later sultans of Delhi Sultanate. So this was in the south. Don't confuse it with the Delhi Sultanate. This was another dynasty which was there in south. That is a Bahmani kingdom, which was established during the time of Delhi Sultanate, but it was in the Deccan region. And the important rulers of this dynasty, you have to remember. You have to memorize the names. The capital of this kingdom was Asnabad or Gulbar. So you have to remember the capital also, Asnabad. So Gulbar. So between 1347 and 1425, this was the capital of this particular kingdom, and later it was moved to Bidar. So the two capitals, later it was moved to Bidar. All right. So the kingdom included the whole of the north. So mostly this was since a Deccan kingdom, so it included mostly the whole of the northern Deccan, extended up to the south of the Krishna river. And the Bahmani rulers were so there was always conflict between the Vijayanagar Empire and the Bahmani, because both were the emerging kingdoms of the south, the Deccan. So in order to have control over the resources over whole of Deccan, these two empires always fought between themselves. So there was a continued fight. We have also studied the Battle of Talikota in 1565, where the fight had taken a severe turn, and Bahmani forces badly defeated the Vijayanagar Empire and plundered the city of Vijayanagar after this particular Battle of Talikota. But then after this, the Vijayanagar Empire never could gain back the previous glory which they had. So now Bahmani administration. So this the sultans of this Bahmani kingdom were not very keen in improving the administration. They were more into fighting and conquering the whole of Deccan. So the two eminent ministers of the Sultan, Saifuddin and Mahmud Gawan, these two names also you have to remember, these are important. These two eminent members or ministers of sultans carried out reforms in every department of the civil government. So they wanted to improvise the administration, and also they took part in the improvement of the administrative sector. And Mahmud Gawan reorganized the land revenue system. He introduced the system of cash payment of land revenue, which is again important. What did he introduce? Why was he famous for? So he introduced the system of cash payment of land revenue by replacing the age-old payment by kind, that is 1/4, 1/6 of the produce. And irrigation system was also improved. He constructed dams, canals, schools, colleges. So there are various constructions which have been done by him, and he made efforts to improve the systems of providing justice also. So now this empire was not very able in maintaining their reign for a long period of time. So decline of this empire happened because of the following reasons, that is, the rulers of this kingdom were religiously intolerant. So we can see this particular empire was Muslim empire, was ruled by the Muslim rulers. So they were intolerant religiously and continuously at war with the Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagar. Now the Bahmani kingdom has two sets of nobles, the Deccan nobles and the Irani nobles, who were constantly in conflict. So inside also there was internal conflicts between the nobles, the Irani nobles and their Deccan nobles. So then the Bahmani rulers also led a life of luxury. Again, you can see the similarities of the decline of empire with the Delhi Sultans. They were also leading a very luxurious life and all of that. So these rulers also had the same problem. Now they were the later Bahmani kingdom were incompetent in maintaining the vastness of the empire, and the death of Mahmud Gawan, who was one of the very important personalities of this particular government, led to the collapse of the Bahmani kingdom, as it was not united anymore, and there was differences between the nobles, and it got divided into independent kingdoms known as Bijapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar, Bidar and Bera. So all the kingdoms which were like all the provinces which were together forming the Bahmani kingdom got separated into independent kingdoms. Now the later Mughals captured these small kingdoms later on. Now the art and architecture of this Bahmani kingdom, so few of the establishments which could be found. So the monuments built by the Deccan rulers were similar to those because you can see the rulers were kind of similar. There was in the Delhi Sultanate era also, there was the rulers were Muslim. Then they had Irani the Irani nobles, the Persian influence. So here also in the Deccan region, this kingdom also had the Muslim rulers, and they also had the Irani influence, the Persian influence in their court. And the style of architecture adopted by the Deccan rulers were very much influenced by the regional factors also. So at Bidar, Mahmud Gawan built a madrasa, which became the center of higher learning. Now the mausoleum of Ahmed Shah near Bidar, one of the finest specimens of the art of this period. So it has its walls and everything decorated in Persian styles. I remember I told you Persian influence also was there. So it was quite similar to that of the Delhi Sultanate style of art and architecture. Now the mausoleum of Mahmud Adil Shah, popularly known as Gol Gumbaz, shows the influence of the Turkish art. So we can see Turkish influence, Irani influence and the Persian influence in the art and architecture. So about Gol Gumbaz and Mahmud Gawan will be, these two portions will be taught in the next class. After that we'll be done with our syllabus and we'll be discussing about the question answers and whatever doubts you might have. So that will be all. Thank you.